Iraq. His statement came on the third day of Manning's trial that could result in the 25-year-old having to spend the rest of his life behind bars. Manning pled guilty to sharing hundreds of thousands of classified government documents to WikiLeaks, with prosecutors claiming he might have been guided in his actions by Julian Assange. For more perspective on this, we're joined by Charlie McGrath, founder of current affairs website Wide Awake News. Charlie, thank you very much for being with us. Now, Manning's superior commanders have been summoned to court today. Now, they're focusing on his record as a soldier. What are they trying to establish in their line of questioning?
Well, I think they're just setting up the prosecution to verify that he was a soldier in a position to attain this information, and he took it and he dumped it onto WikiLeaks. I think this is just generally what is established in court cases, both under the UCMJ and as well as in civilian courts. They establish who he is, what he did, what he had access to, and then they continue to prosecute. So I don't think no surprises yet. In this case, I don't think there's going to be any surprises. They're going to railroad this guy to prison.
Well, some interesting testimony today from Kyle Bolonek, who is the whistleblower's former chief. Manning was allowed to surf massive closed databases of secret information and was able to download it onto CDs without any official restrictions. Does this highlight lapses in the U.S. military security, and does this put some of the blame on them?
Well, it's a great question. When I served in the military, there was certainly very junior enlisted personnel that had access to very secret information. I don't think that's in and of itself, these people are vetted very, very, they're scrutinized deeply before they're put into these positions. So just the fact that a private first class had access to a bunch of what turned out to be damning information on our mission isn't a surprise to me. Like I said, they have to fill these job slots with people, and they're highly vetted. So I don't think that in and of itself is a fall down in military procedure. But I'll leave it at that, because from that point on, it certainly does fall down.
Okay, when you think about Bradley Manning, he did send this to WikiLeaks, which brings into question Julian Assange into this conspiracy. What implications for the whistleblower might there be if he's dragged into this massive espionage case?
Oh, well, what implications? They could kill him. They could launch a Hellfire missile against this guy wherever he's at, whatever embassy he's hiding out in, because he's a belligerent actor against the war on terror. So, I mean, that's the ultimate penalty for Julian Assange, and it's also the ultimate penalty for Private Manning. Even though our government promises they won't kill him, they'll just put this guy in prison for the rest of his natural life. So there's certainly some severe consequences. But overall, the media in general is looking at, I think, this all wrong. Let's look at the information that Bradley Manning put out there. I don't care if he was manipulated by Assange, or if this was his own feelings, or he was just frustrated because he saw these things occurring. He put this information out. The information is indisputable. The information speaks for itself. The reasons that he claims for it is because it was a conscience decision, and more power to him. I think history will reveal him as a hero. But the reasons that the American people have been, and the people of the West, period, have been led into war, have proven to be over and over again falsehoods and a lie. And crimes are being committed, yet we're going to focus on a 20-something private first-class whistleblower. We're looking at the wrong things.
Well, let's kind of dive into that a little bit more. I mean, these charges, aiding the enemy, they're pretty serious. What do you think about these charges, even given the fact that no one has been harmed because of this information that was leaked?
Well, I think it's look, this administration, I'm not left or right, Democrat or Republican, and I think Obama is just as bad as Bush, who's just as bad as Clinton. They're all tied into the same corporate special interest as far as I'm concerned, my opinion. So when this administration comes out and slaps 6 Espionage Act suits against people for being, air quote, whistleblowers, and this is more than any other administration in the history of this country, it shows you the path that we're on. If you speak up and say something, the TSA, our Homeland Security, they want you to report on your neighbor, see something, say something. But if you report on the government, you're going to prison or you're going to die. This is the message that I pick up, that I infer from the acts of from this administration as well as previous. If you dare to stand up and say what we're doing is wrong, you're going to pay, in a lot of cases, the ultimate penalty.
All right, and unfortunately, we're out of time. Charlie McGrath, thank you very much for your thoughts. Founder of current affairs website Wide Awake News. Thanks for being with us on RT.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.